together. Okay, our last storyteller. Kind of a bummer, but been a great night. All right, Deana, come on up. Yay, our last storyteller. Welcome.
You can do it wherever you want. Hi. Yeah, that seems good. Is that good? Yeah. Hi. A Midwestern basement. A large, cavernous, white freezer open in front of me. I've got to get the pecan pie before my parents come back. Let me tell you about this pecan pie. Oh boy. The pecans are from Nikos, the Greek nut seller, who has a place on Dempster Avenue. The white granulated sugar my mother uses to make these homemade pecan pies that taste like heaven comes from Dominic's. It's kind of like a Robertson's. On Kedzie and Tui. And the crust. The graham cracker crust, crushed by my mother's own hands, comes from the Nabisco box. Oh. And let me tell you, this pecan pie tastes just as good frozen in that huge freezer as it does warm. Yeah, I don't know who's talking there, but I know you agree with me. The taste of it on my lips, on my tongue. Talk about decadence, talk about appetite. I put it into my mouth. I'm 11, I'm 12, I'm 13. This pecan pie defines my secret life. I put it in my mouth and I can taste the sweetness, the delectability, is that a word? I think it is. The awesomeness and the wholeness of my mother's love. See, we're not allowed to eat dessert except when we have guests. We have a lot of rules like that. We're allowed to watch TV only at night, not during the day unless it's tennis. We're allowed to eat chocolate once a week. We get to choose the day, though. Moderation is key in my household. My father says, moderation is key in our household, Deana. My mother says, too much of a good thing. She's from Chicago. And so a lot of people think that the opposite of decadence is not having anything, right? But it's not. It's moderation. It's mother-fucking-ration. And I think maybe my parents, maybe they were trying to offset the kind of family we were. Psychologists call my kind of family a high EE family. That's called high expressed emotion. There was a lot of yelling, a lot of crying, a lot of hugging, a lot of laughing, a lot of dancing, a lot of yelling, a lot of crying. And so we couldn't eat pecan pie when we wanted to, because it would have been chaos. Chaos. But I liked chaos. I like chaos. I like decadence. I like appetite. I like eating. I like sex. I like my hair down so I can feel it. I like... Thanks. I like it all, and I liked it then, and I stood in front of that freezer, afraid that I'd hear the key in the door, because this is when I'm allowed to stay home alone for the first time. And I'm eating that pecan pie in a way that I think my mother will not be able to see, in concentric circles. On the underneath side, you know how the pecans sort of crust over, you guys know that, how the sugar caramelizes and then the outside of the crust is very hard on the outside of the pie pan. Well, I didn't touch any of that because that was the frame. I touched the gooey inside. And that was the beginning of that metaphor of my life. I like to touch the gooey inside. That's the movement that means gooey inside, in case you didn't know. Yeah. And so I'm the last one tonight, and I thought this would be a great time for me to preach. I'm very pro-decadence. I'm pro lots of good sex. I'm pro stuffing your face in a pecan pie. I'm pro loving with all of your heart. I'm pro smiling as big as you can and crying as hard as you can and yelling as loud as you can, as long as you don't forget that moderation sucks.
What did we script the night? That was so perfect. What a great way to end.